Access to my energy is a privilege. And in this video, we're going to be talking about why access to your energy is a privilege as well. So let's get into it. All right, guys, let's go ahead and join in. First, let's talk a little bit about energy. All right. Now, first and foremost, our energy is more than just a resource, right? It is the essence of who we are. And it is the culmination of our time, our attention, our emotions, and even our personal resources. And understanding that impact of energy on our own lives as well as the lives of others around us is incredibly crucial. All right. For example, my realization, and became a cornerstone on my journey of self-discovery and empowerment. For instance, when I felt in my personal relationship, romantic relationship, I should say, is I found that my emotional energy was being drained. Okay. And I felt that, it was someone that, it was a partner that maybe didn't appreciate the depth of my feelings. It was someone that just maybe wanted something their way. Whatever the case, might be for you, it is important to kind of hone in on that when you are feeling that type of feeling, when you're feeling drained, in some sort of way. In a work relationship, it was the demand for my time, and it exceeded my limits, which, truly affected my well-being. So, kind of where you're like, these are just some examples that I had for myself, but whatever the case may be, that is a little bit about, the energy in itself and a few examples, for me. But let's talk about overall energy. Let's talk about, energy itself, because it's more than just your physical vitality. Okay. So when we define our energy, it's that intangible force. It's that intangible force that influences on how we engage with the world. And it's one of the most precious resources that we have, is our time. And that contributes to our energy. So time contributes to our energy. It's one of our most important resources, and it's a limited commodity. It has its limits, and it shapes our mental energy as well. So, personal resources like your skills, your talents, and they also play a vital role in defining your energy. And understanding these aspects, and so by looking at this, we gain kind of an overall comprehensive view, of what energy truly represents. Emotional energy invested in partners that might not reciprocate in the same level of commitment. That is one example where that your energy is leaking. Now, in work relationships, it could be where your time and skills are just stretched across so many different projects, kind of like I mentioned before, and the quality, is being impacted in terms of, your contribution. So your what you might be turning in might not be as high quality as it typically would be. So this is about kind of defining your energy. Now, when we get into expressing energy as a privilege, access to your energy is not an automatic right, okay? It is a privilege. And this is realizing that not everyone deserves, your entry into your own personal space, into your thoughts and into your emotions, okay? It's a constant choice that we have to make daily, okay, myself included, on recognizing the value of what I bring, to the table, and the acknowledgement has empowered me to set boundaries, okay, and it allows me to preserve my energy on more of an intentional way, and so that is really helpful. So, for example, in romantic relationships, knowing that not everyone, deserved access to my emotional energy. In my work relationships, boundaries, that helped me prioritize partners, who reciprocate and respect with care, and it also allowed me to focus on projects that aligned with my values. Okay. So I know that there's not always where you can choose what project that you work on or the people that you work around, and that's why it's important to limit your access in times where you can't completely cut someone off in some sort of way, which, again, you don't have to. If you are able to kind of control your energy, it's a fluid movement. Energy is fluid, right? And it never stops and never ends. It's consistently flowing. It's that you can turn on that, what is the word that I'm thinking of? Kind of like, it's like when you turn up the volume or you turn the volume down, you've got a control switch where you can either turn it up or you can turn it down. And in instances where you're being drained, you can kind of turn your energy down so it's not impeding in on you, and you limit access as much as you can, but only what's required. Okay, so these are things that are really important, and this is where setting boundaries is so key, because setting boundaries has been a transformative practice in my life, incredibly. And I've noticed this because it's not about building walls, right? You're not having to build walls to keep people out. It is about, creating a sacred space for yourself, and where your energy is respected and where your energy is reciprocated. And so these boundaries kind of serve as that invisible shield that is around you, to where it protects you from emotional drains. So if someone has some sort of negativity, you can have that shield. It just kind of bounces right back off, right? It bounces right off. And so it is about allowing you to cultivate a more positive, more meaningful connections, rather than having those unnecessary emotional drains, right? Establishing clear boundaries with yourself, amongst others, is precious and should be treated as something that, with this, you should be able to have, get the same respect that you offer others. All right, and if not, then the boundaries, is a way that you can actually communicate that. Okay, so the next example that we want to talk about is avoiding energy leakage. Energy leakage on where you focus your efforts in many different areas and it's a little bit scattered. That can move away from a clear purpose, right? And it can be detrimental on your journey. So, what I've learned is the importance of honing in on what truly matters to you, okay? And that means I have to prioritize my tasks, I have to prioritize my relationships, I have to, and my goals, they have to align. When you do that, you have a focus, and it keeps you from falling into some of those pitfalls of that energy leakage. So prioritizing tasks, relationships, and goals are really going to help within that, okay? And that intentional focus has really increased and my overall production, but also it deepens the impact of your contributions that you do make, both personal and in your professional worlds, okay? So that's really helpful, okay? Now, energy is also important because it's about inspiring others, right? I want to inspire you to recognize the incredible value of your energy. And so it's understanding, the privilege that it is to share your time with others, and the privilege to share your attention and your emotions. And when we do that, we elevate our own sense of self-worth, okay? We have to understand the privilege it is to share these things, okay? Because countless stories of individuals who have, perhaps undergone profound transformations simply by just realizing and embracing the privilege of their own energy can create a big shift, okay? And it can shape the trajectory not only of your life, but the lives of those around you. So that's going to be very, very key. Now, an example of that would be like in romantic relationships, recognize the privilege of your emotional energy transforms the quality of the connections that you now form, okay? In your work situation, it could be that, perhaps that understanding the value of your energy and your time and your skills now have empowered you to contribute meaningful, projects and really align with your passion, okay? So some practical tips in terms of managing your energy. Let's dive into a few areas here for, kind of effective energy management, so to speak. So what that talks about is mindfulness. Now, obviously, that is incredibly powerful, okay? If you're able to cultivate mindfulness, it's a tool that can allow you to be present. It's a tool that allows you to be intentional. And it is a tool that, that if you cultivate it, you enhance your ability to make better choices and to make better conscious choices, all right, for yourself about where you direct your energy, time, and efforts into, whatever that looks like for you, okay? Saying no when necessary is going to be very key, okay? And I know that for a lot of you, it might be very difficult to say no, and that could be something, to definitely, would need to be worked upon, because that could be something that you might say, okay, because that correlates with your energy movement. When you keep saying yes to projects that, really leak your energy, then you again get into spreading yourself thin. And so this is about focusing on preserving your activities and your time for these activities and your relationships that align with your values and goals, okay? And that's going to be very key. Another thing to keep in mind under energy management is prioritizing yourself. A lot of us, forget to do that sometimes in our work. And I'm not talking from an egoic perspective. I'm talking about really taking care of yourself so you can fill your glass up and take care of others, right? You can't just do that on, with an empty vessel. It's really important that you fill yourself up so then you could be of assistance to others. You can help, right? Because, it's like when you nourish your body, mind, and soul, it ensures that your energy remains vibrant and sustainable, in the long run, as you move forward. So that's going to be very, very key. Now, another thing that I want to point out, is what's going to help in moving forward and knowing that, taking care of your energy and knowing that your energy is a privilege and in making it priority, all right, is affirmations and mantras can really help. And it is incredibly important. They're powerful tools to really reinforce the belief in the value of your energy, okay? And to know in that belief that access to your energy is going to be a privilege. And there is, affirmations that you can work on specifically for that, that creates that positive mindset for you. For example, my romantic relationships are the reflection of my high value that I place on my emotional, right, connection, and they come with mutual respect. Or I attract and I cultivate positive energy in my workplace, fostering a productive and uplifting environment. Some other ones would be that I am intentional about the projects that I take on at work, and I'm ensuring that they align with my professional values and my goals whenever I can. And I set healthy boundaries in my personal and in my professional life, ensuring that the balance and distribution in my energy remains intact for the long run, So that's going to be key. And speaking of that mindfulness we just talked about, I practice mindfulness to stay focused and to channel my energy into meaningful endeavors, okay? You want to surround yourself with positive individuals who appreciate and reciprocate positive energy that you bring into their lives. And so this is, focusing in on affirmations. So, in conclusion here, what you're going to want to do, ask this: are there energies in your life where you feel energy leakage is happening? And answer that. So are there areas? And if yes, how might setting boundaries and keep in mind those energy practices that we spoke of, okay? Now, if you need help in recognizing unhealthy boundaries to create better ones, you want to click the link up here on my description box below. But remember that we're all on a journey, right? We're all on a journey, and we can inspire and support one another. Enhance that overall well-being for yourself, okay? All right. And so keep that in mind and take a time to reflect on your own, energy. So that's something to keep in mind. All right. In wrapping up this discussion, I just want to emphasize the profound truth for yourself that the profound truth that access to your energy is indeed a privilege, and it's a privilege that you control. And recognizing this is going to be a game changer. It's the first step in to intentional and empowered living, okay? And that's what this channel is all about, on ways that we can do that. So let's recap all of our points really quick before we close out. Understanding your energy. Now, we defined what energy means in our lives, and encompassing time, our attention and emotions, and our personal resources, right? And so it's about understanding your energy. It involves time, attention, emotional, and personal resources. Number 2 is expressing the privilege. So acknowledging that access to our energy is not automatic, but is a conscious thing that we make. It's a conscious choice, and it's a conscious choice, and it's a privilege that we're able to grant others. Okay, so setting boundaries. Number 3 is helping us create that sacred space for ourselves. That's going to help us do that, right? And it protects unnecessary, energy leakages or drains that might be happening, and fosters a lot more positive connections, which we want more of in our life, okay? And number 4, avoid that energy leakage, and do so by focusing on what truly matters, that can really help you. And it helps us avoid spreading our energy too thin, okay? And it also ensures that we're making impactful contributions, right? And not just halfway contributions in terms of our work and our relationships, okay? Because we're spread so thin, right? And then number 5, inspiring others. Really, it's about recognizing the value of your energy, is prioritizing self-care, which is incredibly essential. Is all about saying no when necessary and prioritizing yourself. And that's going to make your energy use intentional. Okay, we got to be intentional about this. Okay, and then lastly, practical tips we talked about in terms of managing your energy. Mindfulness, saying no when necessary is key. Prioritizing self-care for intentional energy, and then using affirmations that will help reinforce this. Okay. So before we leave, I just want to express my gratitude, guys, for you being here, and thank you so much. And know that managing your energy is a privilege that we collectively appreciate. And I'm thankful for each and every one of you for contributing to your unique energy into this space. And if you found value in today's discussion, I invite you to subscribe, hit the like button, note your comments below, guys, and then share this video with those that you even care about, that might be of a problem with doing that. And let's spread the message of better intentional energy management, right? Far and wide, by empowering others to control the direction of their lives when they can. And that's going to really, really help. So thank you for joining me. Energy is a force. It is embracing the privilege to manage. And until next time, take care of your energy, and let me know if there's any videos that you'd like to see in terms of moving forward. And I'll see you in the next video.